so much. This is quite an esteemed panel to be on. Some of you I've worked closely with. I appreciate the time that you've always given me to be able to talk about the one part of this fight that I'm very passionate about, and that is the teenagers. Stubborn teenagers, the adolescents, the ones that we haven't paid enough attention to. I'm very grateful to be a part of this conference this year because I hope to be a voice for those young girls, young boys, who we have not paid attention to at all and have finally given us enough reason to stop and to say we might have made a mistake. I'm also very excited to be here as a South African. I think it's pretty hard to find a South African who has not personally been affected by AIDS or HIV, or whether it's a personal loss, just the devastating effects that this virus has had on our country. And I think being part of this fight against AIDS has been a very personal passion of mine for a very long time. We started CTOP in 2007 to invest in the young youth, to invest in the whole person, so that they will keep themselves safe from HIV. I wanted to do this through community-based organizations because I think that is the only way we will ever reach those most vulnerable. I think the communities are the ones who are in the trenches. They are living this life with those people. And I don't think we give them enough credit or enough support. And I think until we actually effectively reach these young people and get them effectively engaged, to empower them, to want better for themselves, to have the tools, the resources to do that, nothing is going to change in the fight of this epidemic. We will be maintaining AIDS. And like Michelle Sidibe said, we might be pushing this rock up this entire hill again. We are so close to pushing it over the edge. There needs to be more conversation about ending this epidemic and not just sustaining it or maintaining it. And there is a real reality to that. I believe that reality is with the youth. I think they will be the generation, if we bring them into the room and if we let them truly be part of this conversation, who will be the generation to end AIDS. I don't think there's enough conversation about that. I understand that there is an everyday need to address, but I think we are so close. I do believe that we can, as the UN has stated, stop and end AIDS by 2013. If we really ask ourselves why we haven't stopped this epidemic yet, I think that's the question we all need to ask ourselves at this conference. Because I think there's a frightening answer behind that. I think we give a lot of reasons for why it hasn't happened. But I think ultimately when we look into our own humanity and why that hasn't happened, there's some real harsh realities when it comes to why this epidemic is still unnecessarily taking so many lives. HIV and AIDS is the #1 killer of adolescents in Africa, sub-Saharan Africa. It is the #2 killer of adolescents globally. Why are we not caring about that? This is not something that just affects Africans. This is a nationwide, worldwide, global-wide issue. Our young people are dying at a rate that should frighten us. And yet somehow we just don't talk about them at all. They are the forgotten ones. I see all the great strides that we've achieved, that I've been so lucky to have been a small part of. I have seen countries step and accept their certificates for having zero transmission from mother to child very recently. Very impressive, very exciting. We have made a tremendous stride in those areas, but I think we have to acknowledge that we have really neglected our adolescents, especially young girls. The prevalency is too high to not think about them in a much more effective manner. And so, that's why I'm here today. I'm here because I believe we can stop this. AIDS is 100% preventable, so it's time to have that conversation for real. Thank you for letting me be here.